What do you make of that?
Yeah, listen, we started the game with really good intent and scored 2 good early tries, go 14-0 up. And listen, let Connacht come back into the game well. What we give away that penalty for going off feet on the far side, which leads to kick to the corner, which leads to line of drive. It's hard to defend the goal line. The way teams are organised, eventually get over from the tap. And then it's a bit of just a sticky period, that isn't it? Like probably 15-20 minutes where then shortly after that Joe goes to the bin. So then you're down to 14 players, they kick a penalty, 14-10. So then they score again, where we're just under a period of pressure. Give away, obviously we've 7 men in scrum and we gave away a couple of free kicks and a penalty, I think. So we were just under a bit of pressure during that period. But when we get back to 15 players, it's pleasing the way the group are able to manufacture a score before half time, where Sam gets over. So 19-17. Yeah, but it's still, the game is in the balance, isn't it? Like both teams are challenge each other with their attack in different ways. But I thought we got a real good grip of the game in the second half, and which is pleasing to 5 unanswered tries then. So the bench guys, I thought, added in their own different ways. And yeah, it was great to see guys finishing off some opportunities that were created. Not every opportunity now, but scored some really good team tries, which was pleasing. So and the lads looked like they were enjoying themselves out there, which is what you want to see. Which can be hard in these derby games because there can be quite tense affairs. So it was good to see in the second half. So yeah, listen, it's a win. 5 points. It's 3 wins in the pros with lots of chopping and changing of teams. Which is never easy. So we're not exactly we're trying to build cohesion on a week-to-week basis. So I thought the lads trained well this week, which led to lots of good stuff in the performance. I think it sounds simple, but I'm not sure every team every week necessarily does that. So Dan led them well. So it was good.
Sorry, Leo.
Okay.
The last week, Leo said it can be hard sometimes getting to multi-phase. It can be hard to attack to keep the ball through phases. The second half especially, you managed that tonight. What was the difference, would you say?
I think our prep during the week, something we've talked about, something I wanted to sort of address during the week is also that let's see if we can play to spaces. We've seen pictures where we might have kicked the ball and there is space to play, and it's not the wrong option, but can we give it a shot by playing, keep the ball and then keep the pressure on? So it was really nice. It was enjoyable to play that sort of game there where obviously sometimes you're going to have to kick it, but if we saw the space, I thought we took it well and finished off and put them under pressure while retaining the ball. So I thought that was good, and I thought it was just the focus we put on during the week and how we trained it. And if you probably look at our training during the week, you could have seen it.
Have we been allowed in? I'm joking. Leo, some of the young backs especially, must have been gratifying to see them finish in such style.
That's great, yeah. Listen, JJ on the left wing, he's come in during the summer, he's been fantastic. That's his 6th try and 4 starts, I think, isn't it? 6th try and 5 appearances this season, so it's great. Charlie Taylor, a couple of tries today as well. Hugh Cooney in centre was good. Sam is obviously younger than I think most of them, but obviously because he's experienced, maybe he doesn't fall into that category. But yeah, listen, it's good. Conor Tierney, his first appearance first this season. Obviously, Will Connor's back in the mix because he broke his arm here against Zebra. Listen, Diarmaid Mannion's another younger player that's coming through all the time. So playing at 6 there today. So lots of good stuff. And the front row, obviously, we had a bit of a reshuffle before the game with Rabbit pulling out, and I was just trying to explain this. Ports takes a one for the team essentially because we have travelling reserves essentially, and so Jerry Kerr is there, so we don't have another tight head because we go we'll bring a loose head because worst case scenario Ports could shift across to playing tight head. So then you're like, okay, well, how does this thing play out? So anyway, I thought the players adapted incredibly well. So Ports obviously has not prepared as a tight head this week, so to see him play the 20 minutes at the end as a tight head, obviously came on. So anyway, just to understand the dynamic there, which I thought the players were very good in terms of how they dealt with a potentially very tricky scenario. Because you were starting loose head, literally in the middle of the warm-up, we're telling them, we're actually going to get you out of the starting team now and shifting to the bench as a tight head cover, even though he comes on as a loose head initially, and then we shift him to tight head as the game goes on. So yeah, it was good one for the team.
Yeah, just Harry dropping out of the squad, so was that injury or?
Yeah, it's nothing major with him. He just on Thursday, a little bit of a niggle. It's not significant, I don't think, so. And we only just made literally just before we left. I thought it yesterday when we did a walkthrough, we weren't on the field yesterday, so I thought he was going to be okay, but we just made that call. So it's good. Andrew Osborne came in, so he'd been prepped as well this week.
Was the discipline a little bit frustrating in the first half? Obviously, a great start, and then I think by like 27, 28 minutes, we were on 9 penalties.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There was that period where it was, that 20-minute period where it was just that amount of penalties, which is this kind of vicious cycle you get into. So we give a very innocuous penalty away to start off with by going off our feet when we were in possession. It's one of those ones, like obviously their man thinks there's a poacher there, so he's aggressive, and goes off his feet. Listen, the guy steps away, so he's actually clearing out thin air. Again, going back to it, sometimes it can be difficult when you've got the ball. So anyway, we're into the corner, give away a try, which obviously off another penalty then given away for just inside, and obviously then Joe goes to the bin. Then we're giving away a few set piece penalties. So yeah, it was just a sticky patch. We just struggled to get out of, and we only got out of it when we actually went back to 15 players, I thought. So, but it's credit to Connacht because they were moving us around as well, which is stretching us. So guys are, being put under pressure. So, and then we're giving away penalties. So yeah, definitely. But you understand the cycle nature of it, which starts with we're 14-0 up. We manage our exit and we put pressure back on them, which we don't do, and we put pressure on ourselves. So, and we just can't get out of that for 20 minutes.
Leo, can I just ask you a question very much from a Connacht perspective? Kieran Frawley joining Connacht. Just give me an idea what sort of a person he is and what sort of a player he's going to be when he comes down. I know he's a Leinster player until the end of the season. That'll be his focus. But who's travelling down the motorway to go over?
Listen, Kieran's a great guy. Yeah. So a big part of our group here. Listen, to be honest, I'm not interested in talking about next season. I'm interested in talking about this season. So in this business, we don't look too far ahead. So we've got a couple of huge weeks now. So we've La Rochelle at home with St. Ovid, amazing support out there today. And listen, it's going to be a huge week for the club now. So Champions Cup means a huge amount to all of us here. Kieran is very much a part of that. So that's the only thing we're focusing on at the moment. So with due respect now to your question, because we've a huge game against La Rochelle this week, and then we've a huge game against Bayonne the week after, and then we actually go play Connacht again. Listen, we've enough to focus on ourselves.
And just looking at the games you've been asked to play, I mean, 2 in Europe, 3 Interpros, 2 in Europe, another Interpro. It's a pretty savage schedule.
But that's what we love, isn't it? It really does test you, this block of games. Listen, every team I think has injuries because of there's even the referee went down today with a calf, so I heard him and Rafa were up to today, 2 calves. But yeah, listen, it's it's great though. We knew from the outset this would be a hugely challenging period. Even with Ulster and Connacht both being in the Challenge Cup, they're tending to rotate their team in the Challenge Cup and going full bore for the pros. And listen, we're chopping and changing quite a bit, giving guys opportunities. So every team is slightly different, but it's an amazing time of year. It's challenging for a staff point of view, especially, and listen, big credit to our staff who do an amazing job for the team, working all the way through the holiday period essentially, and that's the same as it is for every team. So a lot of sacrifice takes place, and listen, that's why trying to put on big performances, and when you get a good performance, it's trying to enjoy the moment off the back of it. So, but knowing that you have to turn the page quite quickly to the following week, which is, as I said, La Rochelle. So they're playing tomorrow night. So watch that game with a bit of interest in our rugby, and come in nice and fresh tomorrow.
Sorry, I was going to ask you about the breakdown in the second half. You seem to address it at the start of the second half. You cleaned it up, you got the quick ball, and that allowed you to play all throughout the second half. Was it something you chatted about at half time, or was it just something that you needed to tweak a little bit?
Yeah, we probably were just getting a bit isolated as ball carriers, and our urgency to break in as the clear out just weren't good enough. So yeah, it's something to address amongst other things, but look, there's always going to be something, some messages at half time, and I thought the lads picked it up really well, and there was no sense of panic, which is the main thing. Sometimes people can get flustered, but I thought sort of the calmness amongst the group to just get on with things and solve problems all day. Obviously with different changes going on, and we just got on with it, no excuses, and thought lads adapted well throughout the game.